Well, hello. Welcome to Off the Handle, episode 4. And today, this is not necessarily an unexpected video, but it is not one that I have planned out or had planned out since I started this Off the Handle radio show, whatever you want to call it. The aim of this video is I want it to be unbiased on this topic, though at the same time I realize it is impossible to be completely unbiased given my current viewpoint on the subject. But this video, all it's meant for is to give you some things to seriously consider and think about. So the topic today is going to be flat Earth. Now, before you run away, like I said, I'm trying to make this video unbiased, and I just want to bring up a couple topics for you to ponder on and look into for yourself. I don't want you to believe that the Earth is flat or not believe it just based on my beliefs. I'm not asking or forcing you or telling you to believe any one thing. Once again, I just want to bring up some things that I believe are very important to think about and ponder upon. So, with all that said, here we go. So, I apologize. Okay. So, I want to start off with Genesis. Okay. Now, if you're a Christian, I expect that you believe all of the Bible and that, nothing is left out. That you don't pick and choose what you believe, that either you believe in the Bible or you don't, and that there is no in between. So, okay. Now, talking about the heliocentric model, what I find so funny, I guess you could say, being a Christian, is that, let me back up a little bit. When I first heard about this flat Earth stuff, I didn't even give it a time of day, to be honest. I just thought it was so preposterous and ridiculous that it couldn't possibly be true. But after a few months, it kept eating at me, so I really dug in deep and I researched everything I could about it. Okay, so all right, this is one of my things that got me to really think about it. When I went back to Genesis and I was reading the creation story, if you notice, the first verse of the first chapter says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." It didn't say that the sun was created first. It didn't say that the moon was created first. It didn't say that the stars were made first. It says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." Okay, so right there, I'm already questioning how in the world can we possibly be circling around the sun when the sun wasn't even created until after the earth was created. And it says here, "And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light. God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, 'Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.'" All right, now let's look at this word firmament real quick. Let's see if I can do this right. Okay. So we get, let there be a firmament. So we get a phrase. I'm trying to look up the strong. Okay, here we go. Let's look at what firmament even means. If we go down here, it says, An extended surface, solid, expanse, firmament. A. Expanse, flat as base, support. Firmament, a vault of heaven supporting waters above. Holy crap. We got some red flags right here. That's all I'm saying. If we're really seriously trying to what's the word? I can't think of it right now. And I apologize, my mind is going in a bunch of different areas right now. Okay, so now we know what firmament means. At least we got a rough understanding of it. It's a vault of heaven supporting waters above. So it's solid, right? Okay, so let's go back. Oh my goodness. Okay. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. I'm gonna speed this up because I'm sure y'all have a Bible. Y'all can look it up. Y'all can read Genesis for yourself. I'm just trying to make a couple points for y'all to think about. Okay, and I'm really trying hard for this not to be a really long video, because I don't want to waste your time. I just want to give you some things to think about and let you move on. Okay. All right. So if we really revolved around the sun and all that, what do you want to call it? I want to call it garbage, honestly. But everything that modern science claims, it's so conflicting with me because I'm a Christian, and to me, the Bible is true. And I will not believe anything that conflicts with the Bible. That's me. I'm not saying you should do the same. You're your own free person. Okay, I get it. But as a Christian, how foolish would it be for me to believe that we were spinning around the sun when the sun wasn't even created until, let's see, I'm trying to find it. I may have already passed it. I think I did. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, okay, so it wasn't until after the third day that God made the sun and the moon. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Okay, so you see where the conflict is, right? How can we possibly be spinning around the sun when the sun and the moon and the stars wasn't even created until after the third day? Okay, there's something to think about. Let's move on. I have this book. I'll put the link in the description so you can download it too. You can read it. It's called Earth Not a Globe, an experimental inquiry into the true figure of the Earth, proving it a plane without orbital or axial motion, and the only known material world, its true position in the universe, comparatively recent formation, present chemical condition, and approaching destruction by fire. Whoa, that's a mouthful. It's a big title. But in this book, let's get down to it. Samuel Burley Robotham. I hope I'm saying that right. Actually, I don't care if I am. But in this book, this man lays out multiple experiments that he performed looking for curvature, right? Well, he doesn't find any at all. He doesn't find any curvature. This was, I think, 1881, I think it says? Yeah, 1881. Okay, so the reason why I'm showing this book is because it's beautiful in my eyes, because all the instruments and all the technology he used to do these experiments, we can do ourselves. We don't need no fancy telescopes or, equipment that costs thousands of dollars. We can go out and we can perform these same type of experiments and come to our own conclusions. And the main thing that irritates me so much about modern science is, well, it's not even modern science, it's everybody else that just takes it on faith that everything they say is true. I mean, anyway, it's like a religion. Modern science to me is like a religion. They just come out and they say all these things, but I mean, I don't know. My point to this is, who actually tests their claims? Who goes out and performs experiments to find out if they're telling the truth? For the most part, it just doesn't happen. But I'll leave a link to this book in the description. I'm trying to, so much scrolling, goodness. I'm trying to get to just the first experiment. Okay, here we go. Alright, so the algorithm to find Earth's curvature, supposedly, is 8 inches per mile squared. Alright, so that means at 3 miles, you shouldn't be able to see a 6-foot man standing there. Think about that for a second. At 3 miles, a 3-mile stretch, you shouldn't be able to see anything on a 6-foot man beyond 3 miles. Okay, anyway, moving on. Okay, so here's one of the experiments. Like I said, y'all can read through. I'm not going to go through and read this whole book. Y'all can look at it for yourself. But the point is, this was done in 1881, and he couldn't find any curvature at all. And these are all simple experiments that anybody can go perform themselves and test and see if this is true or not. All right. Anyway, it's a really good read. I hope you download it. It's a free download through Google Drive. Anyway, okay, moving on. All right. Now, when you go and type into a search engine, and excuse me, one second. If you go to a search engine, you type in Earth from space, what you will get is a bunch of computer-generated images. Every now and again, you'll get what appears to be kind of a real image, but even when you do find something that's quote-unquote real, if it's through NASA or through any space agency, it's going to have that artificial curve to it because of the fisheye lens. If you're even lucky enough to find one. Most of these, they're so, it's like, I don't know, I apologize. It gets me going, Like when I first heard about this flat earth thing, I didn't even give it a time of day. I'm not even lying. But a couple months roll around and, I just start really analyzing my surroundings and thinking about things, and all I can say is, I don't believe anybody at all. I don't care who they are. I don't believe them just because they say something. I don't do that. I want to find it. I want to find the proof. I want to find the evidence. You know what I mean? Anyway, the point to this one, when you type in Earth from space, you're going to get a whole bunch of computer-generated images. And that's pretty much it. That's all you're going to get. And the funny thing about it, NASA openly admits that all these images are CGI. But then they claim it has to be. The hell, what? No, it don't. No, it don't. If you didn't have anything to hide, there would be thousands of unedited pictures, raw pictures. But there isn't. Why? It just doesn't make sense. If there's nothing to hide, then why fake anything? You know, and that brings up the moon landing. I know most of y'all know for a fact that the moon landing was a hoax. Anyway, I'm not getting into that too much. I'm trying to remember the director's name. That Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick, I think it was in the 80s. I'm not too sure when, but he openly admitted pretty much that he was the one that directed the moon landing videos. And he don't outright say it, but he's saying it. Take that for what you will. See, and like, look at this. I love this. So, this is a picture of multiple images of the Earth provided by NASA throughout the years. And if you look at this one, look how big United States is in 2012. All right, but look at the one right above it. This is 2007. Look how small it is in 2007. What in the world happened there? It's almost twice the size. All right? Again, these are just things for you to think about and ponder. Do your own research, look it up. It's mind-boggling, honestly. To me, at least it was at first. Now, not so much. All right, so let's move along. Satellites from space. Let's see if we can find any real footage or any real images. Hell, no, let's take that back a notch. Let's see if we can even find something that looks real. Satellites from space. Oh, look at all this space junk around. Oh, that has to be real. You remember growing up and going through school, and they would tell you that there was all this space debris flying around, all these satellites that have crashed and been decommissioned and all this. All right, well, your mind. Either there is a bunch of space debris flying around, or there isn't. Do you see what I'm getting at? Look, either you have pictures that show all this space debris, or you have these perfectly clear pictures that are just marvelous. Lying signs and wonders. You know what I mean? Like, the reason why I don't fight with people about flat Earth anymore is simply because it's hard to even call it evidence. Pretty much the points that I'm making, to me, the problems are so obvious. I'll take that back. The red flags, are so obvious in all these little points that I'm making that I'll never go back to believe in anything NASA ever says about anything. I'll even take that a little farther. I'm pretty sure I already said it. I don't believe what anybody says anymore. Unless I can prove it, then I'm not going to entertain it. No more will I entertain lies or fairy tales. I won't do it. I'm almost 30. You know what I mean? Life's short. I could die tomorrow. I could die right now. In a couple minutes. Whatever. I ain't got time for that crap. Ain't nobody got time for that. Alright, anyway. So once again, these are all computer-generated images. It's artwork. That's all it is. It's artwork. Oh, damn. See this one? This one looks real. I'll tell you what. Yup. Okay, I'm going to have to change everything I know. Look, this is definitely real. Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. I think I found a real satellite in space. Holy crap. Would you look at that? Anyway, all right, so moving on. Gravity. Now this one is kind of tricky, okay? We all know that things fall to the ground. We know that. We can see it, we can observe it. But when it comes to gravity, it seems like complete hogwash that isn't even proven yet. Excuse me. The force that attracts a body toward the center of the earth or toward any other physical body having mass. For most purposes, Newton's law of gravity apply with minor modifications to take the general theory of relativity into account. All right, this is my thing. Okay, if gravity was real, then why haven't I ever seen, let's take a building. Yeah, the Empire State Building, something like that. Okay, if a fly is flying next to the Empire State Building, is the Empire State Building gonna pull that fly towards it because there's such a difference in the size of mass? Have you ever actually witnessed gravity happening other than stuff falling to the ground? I haven't. I've never seen a smaller massed object being attracted to a larger mass object. I've never seen it happen. Never. And I don't think I will. Like, check this out. Gravity is most accurately described by the general theory of relativity proposed by Albert Einstein in 1915, which describes gravity not as a force, but as a consequence of the curvature of space-time caused by the uneven distribution of mass. Like, where did they get this crap? I really feel like they just get really messed up on some drugs or something, and they just write out some stuff that sounds all crazy and, you know, like, oh, yeah, I like that. Okay, I know I'm getting a little out there, but I mean, come on. Okay, moving on. Gyroscopes. Oh yeah, y'all know about these gyroscopes. Oh yeah. So, a device consisting of a wheel or disc mounted so that it can spin rapidly about an axis that is itself free to alter in direction. The orientation of the axis is not affected by tilting of the mounting, so gyroscopes can be used to provide stability or maintain a reference direction in navigation systems, automatic pilots, and stabilizers. All right, so gyroscopes, they pretty much make it to where it's easier for the planes to stay level. That's generally what they do, right? Or am I wrong? I mean, it says it right here. Provide stability or maintain a reference direction. Now, if planes were flying around a huge ball, like, first of all, how in the world would a gyroscope even work? Like, what? Okay, I'm just saying. This is something to think about. I haven't dug into this too much, but there's something there. You know what I mean? This needs to be pondered upon. Gyroscopes in general, and how they would work if we really did live on a ball, and this and that. Okay. I know, I'm kind of babbling. I'm not trying to make this a super long video. Alright, moving on. Concerning the stars. Have you ever heard of this term called sonoluminescence? It's pretty intriguing. And I would be playing videos and various different videos, but I'm having problems with my computer, and every video I try to pull up, it's extremely zoomed in, and I haven't figured out how to fix it. But this is another wonderful topic to look into. It's beautiful. Luminescence excited in a substance by the passage of sound waves through it. Okay, so pretty much what sonoluminescence is is, if I understand it right, they. Well, I first heard about this because it's a documentary called "Star in a Jar." But what they did was they just filled up this jar with fluid, and they applied a certain frequency to it, and it, like, at first it created a bubble, and then the bubble like collapsed in on itself, and then boom, radiated light. And I just, whoa, it, like, this whole topic of sonoluminescence, that could be a whole video itself. It's very intriguing, it's very interesting. But to me, I think this is more likely to explain the stars than what NASA and all these other space agencies claiming that they're suns, and I don't buy it for a second. I mean, I just don't buy it. This seems more likely to be true, because I mean, when I look up in the sky, what I see is flickering lights. They change color, and just to point out something else. Like, do you really think you can see billions and billions of miles away with the naked eye? Think about that for a second. I mean, you can only see so far. That's just how it works. It's preposterous to me, Anyway, so look up sonoluminescence. That could have something to do with explaining what the stars really are and how they actually work. Just putting it out there. Again, I'm just trying to make this video to point out a couple topics for you to look into yourself that I find fascinating concerning the flat earth, and just concerning just understanding the world we live without having to listen to a pastor from fucking NASA. Excuse my language. I apologize. I was doing so good. All right. Anyway. All right. So now we come to refraction. Refraction, the fact or phenomenon of light, radio waves, etc., being deflected and passing obliquely through the interface between one medium and another, or through a medium of varying density. Change in direction, a propagation of any wave as a result of its traveling at different speeds at different points along the wavefront. Measurement of the focusing characteristics of an eye or eyes. All right, so you know how they claim that, and this is one of the main things I hear when flat Earth gets brought up, and the attacks come in. They say, go out to a large body of water and watch a ship, and you'll notice that it goes over the curve. Excuse me. No, it don't. I've personally witnessed this for myself up at Lake Erie. They have these little, I don't know what to call them. They're like binoculars, for tourists. They're in tourist destinations where you just put a couple like 25 cents or 50 cents in, and you can use it. Well, what I did, I picked a couple of boats and I watched them with the naked eye until they disappeared. And then I put my change into the binoculars, whatever you want to call them, and I was able to pull them right back up. And on top of that, I could pull up boats that were even farther out than the ones that I saw disappear. That's proof of refraction right there. All it is light bending due to the atmosphere and our perspective with our eyes. So look up refraction. Look into that a little bit. All right, moving on. This also has to do kind of with, I don't know necessarily if it's refraction, but okay, this is something to consider. Another thing I get asked or Yeah, I'll just say when I'm bringing up the flat Earth to some people, a lot of points they want to try to make is, well, if the Earth was flat, then it'd be sun all the time. It'd always be sunny. No, like, come on, again, common sense. Let's come back to the real world. How many lights does it take on a street to light up that street? Is there just one light out there that lights up the whole dang street? No, that's not how it works. Light only travels so far. So think about that. Think about that. All right. I know that this video seemed like it popped around, it jumped around a lot, and I do admit I do that a lot. I tried to lay it out with some points, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous doing this. I've never really done anything like this. I produce music, I make music. That's what I've been doing for the past 8 years or so. But I felt like I had to kind of put my 2 cents out there about the flat Earth, you know. And I'm not saying just believe that the Earth is flat because you've seen this video and now, you know, I'm speaking absolute truth and I know it all. And no, I don't. I go into this world saying I don't know anything, so that I can have a clear and unjudgmental mind on new information that is given to me. All right, that's what I did with this whole flat Earth thing. When I first heard it, I thought it was ridiculous. I did. But I would go outside, and after about 3 months, I was looking up at the sky, and this is one of the things that really got me to thinking. All right. Polaris, the North Star. One second. All right, so they want us to believe that for thousands of years, and this is definitely not what I was trying to pull up. Holy crap. All right, so they want us to believe that. I'm going to break this down for you. I know you know this, but I'm just trying to paint a picture. All right, so our Earth is a huge spheroid, right? That spins on its axis, right? But on top of that, the Earth is orbiting around the sun, right? And on top of that, the sun and our whole solar system is also moving and orbiting around the center of the Milky Way galaxy, right? Okay. And on top of that, the Milky Way galaxy is itself moving farther away from the point of the Big Bang, supposedly. Are you following? Now, on top of all that, all the other solar systems in our Milky Way galaxy are also moving and doing all those things. Okay? So think about this for a second. You're telling me with all of that movement and all of history, the stars haven't changed position at all? Think about that for a minute. How is that possible? With all that movement, how is that at all possible? Think about that for a minute. The stars still look the same as they did in ancient times, right? Ancient Egypt, Babylon, ancient Sumer. Come on. Think about that. Look, I really appreciate if you've listened to me, Babylon, and Sometimes I don't really understand what I'm supposed to be doing and why I'm doing the things I'm doing, but I felt like I had to make this video. Even though it probably wasn't the best put together, and I guarantee you've seen better videos. I guarantee that. But I felt like I had to put in my little 2 cents and the things that I see and the reasons why I really started looking into the flat earth, because these are the things that I started to think about. It's just like one problem after another problem after another problem after another problem, and I just want other people to truly analyze the world that we live in. I want y'all to use your eyes, use your senses. What do you feel? Do you feel the earth spinning underneath you? Like, there's so many problems with what we have been taught. And now I feel like all I see is deception around us. And in the same weird way, I also feel and see, well, maybe not so much see, but I feel like it's all connected. There's all a connection. And me being Christian, you know where I'm going to, lies from Satan. In Revelation, it talks about how in the last days, there will be lying signs and wonders. I think you're seeing them right now. I think one of the biggest ones in our late history was the moon landings, and I believe that was a lying sign and wonder. Think about this also, just for a second. How easy would it be for people to believe that if aliens came down and these aliens claimed that they created us? How easy would it be to believe that? I mean, most people already believe that there's billions of stars out there with all these planets that could possibly support life. What I'm getting at is, this isn't just something that was just all put out there and laid out. It's been these, I'm going to say this grand deception, it has been like in the making ever since we came into existence as humans. Biblically speaking, right? Because the serpent was in the garden with Adam and Eve. So, like, we know the devil has been here the whole time. I mean, you don't think after all this time he hasn't been up to something? People really do not give enough credit to how brilliant Satan is. He's the father of deception. He comes in the form of light and of good things. My final point, I'll wrap this up. I know this has been a very long video, and I did not expect it to be so long. I apologize. My final point is, don't believe anything that anyone tells you unless you can prove it for yourself. Now, in those supernatural experiences that do occur, that can kind of mix up your understanding of reality and things like this. I get that, because I've had my share of supernatural experiences and things like that. But I'm just like you. I'm just out here. I'm trying to figure things out. I'm trying to understand. Yeah. So, all right. With all that said, thank you so much for watching this video. It really does mean a lot to me. I want to point out that I do make music at this moment. As you can see, I haven't made it. I'm just some other dude I'm working a day job just like you, but this is my passion, and I really want to make music for a living, but I understand that there's no way that can be possible unless I get my voice out there. So if you would do me a huge favor, you can find me all over the web, but check out my Spotify, and I mainly promote my Spotify because it's free. You can listen to all of my music that I have distributed, and it's all free. You don't have to pay anything. I know I don't pay for music anymore. Who pays for music? We just turn on Pandora or Spotify, and when we listen to what we want, and then when we're done, we're done. I get that. So I know the chances of me ever being able to make music for a career, I know it's very slim. But if I don't try, I will never know. So with all that said, again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This has been the 4th episode of Off the Handle with Whitehawk Thebeatmasta. Yeah, so go check it out. Show me some support if you want. If not, I don't know. Do you? And thank you again. God bless, and may peace and good things and knowledge be bestowed upon you. Y'all take care. Peace.